CGMs are incredibly game changing for the lives of people with diabetes. Like, I get to remove the question of what is my blood sugar. This is where we get into the gray area of consumer grade CGMs. There is benefit to be had by tracking your blood sugar.
You mentioned, there's tools now. So do you use like a CGM on a regular basis, continuous glucose monitor? Okay.
Yeah. I've actually got,
because obviously
CGM,
when those, oh, okay, nice. Yeah. When those came more widely available, it was all the rage in endurance sports. It was like, wow, we got access to this new, this new technology that can help us understand how our body's processing, in regulating blood sugar. But it wasn't intended for endurance sports. Like, they didn't develop it for endurance sports. Obviously, they developed it more for medical purposes like yours. So have you had access to that for a long time? Like, since they first kind of came out? Is that something that you've used?
Yeah. So I will say yes and no to that as well. I think there's a lot of yes and no answers here. So I have had access to CGM for over 10 years now. Which is CGMs are incredibly game changing for the lives of people with diabetes. Like, being able to know what my blood sugar is at more or less at any point in the day within some pretty certain degree of confidence is insane, because then I have to remove the question, or I get to remove the question of what is my blood sugar, because I can always look at my phone, look at my pump, look at my watch that has it all synced up, and see like, oh, my blood sugar is 142 right now. That's pretty solid. Or if it's not, like, I can see and think back, like, if I ate and it went up, did I take enough insulin? Is it going up too quickly? Is it going up higher than I thought it was going to? Like, can plan accordingly, and also like track the trends of like when it's going down, so that I can eat preemptively and make sure I have food on board before it goes super low and bottoms out.
Right.
I say no to that because the insurance game, unfortunately, is a very real thing in the world of diabetes. And for a long time, like, this is, I think, changed in the last 2 to 4 years. They weren't, for me, and this is purely coming from my experience, but they weren't deemed medically necessary. So I was still paying like a lot of money for the CGMs I was using.
Gotcha. Okay. So when something like the Homo sapien CGM came out and it was fairly affordable, like that mutually benefited you too. It wasn't something.
So yes and no, and this is where we get into the gray area of consumer grade CGMs. So the Super Sapiens CGM you're talking about there, and with a lot of the other consumer grade CGMs that are on the market right now, they are slightly less accurate than the medical grade ones used for diabetes management. But they also only manage your blood sugar, or only measure your blood sugar within a very tight range, because the people those are intended to be used for don't have diabetes. Their blood sugar more or less is going to stay within this pretty tight range, and more so tracking trends and like how quickly foods are affecting, and just like where it's going to top out and where it's going to bottom out. But for someone with diabetes, there's really no upper or low. Like, the lower limit is 0. Actually, it's
none.
Not 0. Like, you would die a little bit sooner than that. But and there is no upper limit. So the medical grade CGMs measure on a much wider scale and with a higher degree of accuracy as well.
Gotcha. Okay.
This is why it's beneficial to have a friend who has diabetes, because then he can just give you his unused medical grade glucose monitors, and you don't have to use the crappy,
but like you said, it wouldn't really be all that functional for an average person, an average athlete. Probably, I mean, you could still probably use it to measure that tighter range, but you don't need the wide range sensitivity of it.
Yeah, exactly.
For the most part.
I think CGMs they're phenomenal technology, and I think there is, like, for athletes, and I know they're banned by the UCI for use in competition, but there is benefit to be had by tracking your blood sugar and seeing. I think tracking the trends and tracking the timing are the biggest things there to show, because, like, I know exactly what time I need to eat my breakfast before I race, so that I can eat my breakfast, make sure I have insulin on board, have that digest, but then still like eat it far enough ahead of time for things to like level out and not have any residual insulin on board or any residual food like still in my gut that needs to be digested. And I know exactly, like I can give you like the exact amount of time I need for that. And it also varies based on what exactly I'm going to eat for breakfast. So this applies to everyone, not just people with diabetes, and CGMs are the tool to help see that.
So I got one like a month ago, trying to do exactly what you said. Man, it was like 2 months ago. And I just got the consumer grade one. And it worked for a couple days. And I don't know if it's because because it only says it was supposed to work for 2 weeks anyways. And it says that a certain percent of them won't even work for 10 days. And I'm like, well, you know.
You mean it actually stopped working?
Yeah, at some point it just stops working.
I thought you meant like the whole process of tracking everything wasn't working for you.
No, the monitor itself just craps out. I don't know what's wrong with it, but the first one I had lasted 4 or 5 days. And I'm like, this is bogus. I'm like, what the heck? And so, it came with 2, but I'm like, if the first one died after 5 days, I'm going to try to get another one. So I did. And they sent me another one. That one only lasted 2 days. And then I was so fed up with it. I'm like, I ain't doing this again. And I don't know if it's because I don't have enough like fat on the back of my arm to where it just, the sensor that, because it implants a little wire sensor basically into your skin.
Yeah.
And I don't know if because of the tight fitting clothes of cycling, so like putting on a tight jersey moved it enough to where it screwed that up, but like it hurt. I don't know if maybe the medical grade ones are better, but where it was stuck into my arm hurt the whole time. Like if I moved my arm a certain way, it would hurt. And I'm like, I don't think this is normal. So when the second one died after 2 days, I was kind of grateful. I'm like, I don't want this thing in my arm anyways.
I got a couple points on that. First off, Drew, you preach to everyone that is living with diabetes right now, because unfortunately that is a very real thing for even the medical grade ones. CGM's not lasting their whole sensor life. And at this point under insurance, like I'll get enough sensors for a 90-day supply, but if each sensor is supposed to last 2 weeks, then that's what, 9-10 sensors. So if one lasts 2 days or one lasts 5 days, then if I don't warranty it in time, I'm going to be out of sensors before I can go and get new ones again. It's like it's a major pain in the butt and very frustrating, and something a lot of people deal with very regularly. To go on to, so first off, the sensor shouldn't hurt. I don't think you put it in.
I must have screwed it up. I mean, it was pretty basic. There's a little device that shoots it in, and I did that. I mean, the first time my wife did it for me because I was nervous. I'm like, why don't you just do it? And I don't know. You
probably put it on a muscle or an area where you don't have enough body fat for it to sit subcutaneously. If you choose to do it again, I might recommend putting it on the side of your butt. The butt that's usually one of the fattier areas, especially on an endurance athlete.
I'll have my wife do that one too.
Nice. She'll have fun with that. But it definitely shouldn't hurt. And if it hurts, that means you put it somewhere where there's just not, most of the time, there's either scar tissue or just not enough body fat.
Okay, that's what I figured.